Predominantly, I competed with 22 open, so we had 10 22s, and we had I would say, like with many sports, consistency is really important. And at the end of the day, it's just completeness and thoroughness. All that fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show. Welcome back to Making Waves, your Tasi Bank podcast. And I am your host, Alan Gaul. And I am excited to have today's guest with us, Andrew Woolard, who's one of our credit analysts. Andrew, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name's Andrew. I'm a credit analyst over here at Tasi Bank. I began in June, and I've been loving every minute of it ever since.
So I have so many one-liners about credit and analysts, but I'm not going to go there. Walk us through what you guys do a little bit. We had Robin Cartago on. I don't know if you worked with Robin, or did you guys have any crossover before he left?
We were desk neighbors, but I never worked on any of his transactions.
That's right. All right. So he kind of gave a little overview of what he did. So give us just a little bit of what you guys do in terms of credit analyst and underwriting over there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, essentially what we do is we assist the relationship managers in determining the creditworthiness of any given borrower. We'll go through all their financial statements. We'll take a look at the credit, take a look at the property, and then we'll help determine whether or not it's something that the bank would be interested in pursuing, and see if there is any risk to the bank before lending to the client. And that's basically the role.
So do you guys all dress like FBI agents when you come to work?
Just today.
Just today?
Yeah, talking to you. That's all.
We didn't even know that you were going to be on the show today.
No.
This was just kind of a lucky thing.
Yeah.
How comfortable are you going diving into your personal life? I mean, I've done a deep dive, as you can see. I've got a page full of notes.
I'm pretty comfortable with it.
You want to talk about one of your favorite pastimes and one of your hobbies and what you're good at?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Because we only have like 5 minutes left.
All right. You want to kick it off?
So Andrew has a talent that not too many people do in terms of sports. A lot of people play golf, basketball. Andrew and I were just having a conversation one day. I think it was at lunch, maybe at lunch. I'm not sure. I'm a big lunch guys, everybody knows. But it turns out that Andrew is a competition shooter. I'll leave it at that. I'll go from there.
Yeah. So long time ago, I started shooting. To provide even more backstory, my mom and dad met on a shooting range. My dad used to be on the United States shooting team. So shooting was always a pretty important part to our family dynamic. We'd have family outings to the shooting range instead of family outings to the beach. So naturally, when I got really into it, I started to explore the different facets and different disciplines within shooting. And I started with bullseye, which is what my family did. But then because that wasn't as fun as some of the other disciplines, it was much slower. You'll have 10 minutes to make 5 shots. I wanted to see what else really was there. And so I stumbled into something called Steel Challenge, which is a type of shooting where you have 8 different stages. Each stage has 5 targets, and they're made of steel. And the whole purpose is to accurately hit each of those plates as quickly as you can, with a certain plate being the last one, called the stop plate. So I did that for probably 3 years. Went down to Piru, California, where they had their West Coast Steel Championships. Predominantly, I competed with 22 open. So we had 10 22s, and we had a conversion kit on a 1911, which made it go from the center fire round, the 45, which is a lot bigger, to 22, which is much smaller and more manageable for a 15-year-old.
I have so many questions, and there's so much information I want to keep going on that topic, but I'm going to stop you there. Tie it all together. How does that discipline and your approach to kind of that sport, and how do you bring that into work? Because we did talk a little bit about concentration, focus, discipline. What are the characteristics that you have that crossover to your professional career with your sport?
I would say, like with many sports, consistency is really important. When there's something that you're working on that just isn't quite right, whether it's a sport or whether it's within your work, you always want to fine tune whatever it is you're doing so that you can get it perfect. So with shooting, whether it was your draw, whether it was the first shot when the buzzer goes, you go through that one particular motion 1,000 times just to get that one thing done perfectly, or as close as you can get to perfect. And same thing with work. So when we're going through financial statements, we want to hit the big ticket items. We want to always make sure that we're very thorough with what we do. When we're looking at a new borrower, we want to quickly go over every single document that we would need for them for that transaction. And at the end of the day, it's just completeness and thoroughness. And so from shooting all the way to work, I would say that's one of the biggest things that carries over, outside of, the determination and the drive and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show. I think I'll have to have you on again.
I'd love to.
We'll do the shooting conversation. We'll prepare for it because I think I talked to you that I had an uncle that was on the shooting team. So we still never made that connection between my uncle and your dad. Andrew's dad passed away several months ago, so big tough loss for the Tasi Bank family. But I'm glad you came on, and I'm glad you were able to share a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Woolard probably won't get any more subscribers. That's fine. His family might watch. We might gain 1 or 2. But until we get those followers, keep making waves.